everybody. I'm Penny Sparke. I'm the director of the Modern Interiors Research Centre and at the university. I'm the Provost Chancellor. Most of you know me, but there'll be some people who are new, which is very nice to see you. Welcome, basically. Welcome to Kingston University, and welcome to Flow 1, which is the name of our conference. It's the first of a two-part conference. It's the first time we've done this. It's very exciting, very new. The second half, which will take place next year at Queensland University of Technology in Brisbane, in Australia. So we'll be talking about how this conference leads to that second conference during the course of this conference. So it's a sort of evolving picture. Can I just say a little bit about where the conference came from? The origins actually came from a very brief conversation that Jeannie Lee, do you mind just standing for a minute, Jeannie, people know who you are? This is Jeannie from Brisbane, about to be Melbourne, but Brisbane at the moment. We had it 2 years ago, didn't we, at a conference, very interesting conference that I attended over there. And we just had this little chat about interiors and landscape, and could we think about how we start thinking about they might work together. And that was the start of it, wasn't it? And we thought, let's do two conferences. Let's make our annual conference, which I think is our 11th. I was trying to count them. I think it's our 11th conference. Let's focus from our end very much on the historical, 19th, 20th century historical background to that, coming up to the present. And then I think when we move to Brisbane, but this is still to be discussed and shaped, it'll be more on the theoretical and the contemporary practice side of the same kind of themes. So if we can bear that in mind as we go through, that will be absolutely great. Another exciting collaboration that we're doing for the first time, Merck is getting very outward looking, is that we're working with Pat Brown, who's standing beside me, who's the director of the Landscape Interface Studio here at Kingston. And Pat just wants to say a couple of words.
Yes. Thank you very much, Penny, and welcome to everyone. It is the beginning of an intensified relation, well, that doesn't sound very nice, of a new and creative relationship with our colleagues in Merck, the Modern Interiors Research Centre at Kingston, and also, very excitingly, a collaboration with colleagues from QUT in Australia. So it's very good to welcome both Jeannie and Mark. The Landscape Interface Studio, based at Kingston, works across practice, research and teaching. And we're very keen to begin to have more liaison, critical liaison, outside of our discipline. And I think the only other thing to say is welcome to an area of London on the Thames, which is a cornucopia of cultural treasures. And I'm looking forward to talking about some of those informally with you this evening when we're at Dorridge House. Welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat, very much indeed. So the theme of the conference, if I want to sort of summarise it very quickly and rather simplistically, is about the relationships between inside and outside, in very broad terms. And as you look down the programme, you'll see that that's being explored in a number of incredibly different and interesting ways. So the result then is a couple of days, which we hope you'll very much enjoy experiencing with us. And I've mentioned already that we'll take that forward next year in a more theoretical and practice-based way. However, if you look at our two very exciting keynotes that we've got, one today and one tomorrow, we're not leaving practice out. Today, Sandy Eichenstedt will be talking in a more historical context, but tomorrow, Joel Sanders, New York-based architect, will be linking that to contemporary practice. So there's porosity. Actually, I was told yesterday that's not a word, porousness, sorry. Porousness. A lot of people say it, don't they? It's not a word. Porousness. So for all of those who've got porosity in your lectures, cross it out now. But I think that's going to be the thing. Porousness. Things kind of sliding in between each other, flowing, hence the word. So the things aren't going to be quite as cut and dried as that. Things will move across. I don't want to delay the start of things, but two quick things. Well, first of all, already Pat has mentioned that at the end of the day, we're inviting you to a reception and a book launch, actually, exciting book launch. I won't tell you what of, that can be a surprise, over at Dorridge House. And we'll be telling you a little bit later how to get there, but it's literally a sort of 5 to 10 minute walk down the road, but we'll talk about that a bit later. A couple of housekeeping things before I go into the first session. Should a fire break out, which I hope it certainly won't, there are two very clearly marked entrances, or exits rather, one here and one at the back, so just make for one of those. The other thing is that we are filming, as you'll see, but just to sort of reassure you, we're not filming images because of all the copyright problems that go with that. So it'll be people standing talking that we're filming. And we won't be filming the question and answer sessions either, so we don't want it to inhibit people to standing up and asking questions, so feel free on those sessions. That's the way we're organising it. As you'll see from the programme, there are groups of papers, shortish 20-minute papers, and then we'll take questions after the grouping. So if you can keep your questions during the sessions to the end, we'll then sit together, and there's a good time allocated for that. I think then, without much further ado, we go straight into the first session.